Hey guys, so I just woke up today and, you know, you see I'm all kind of disheveled right now. I just woke up today and saw that Tim Black decided to dox my boy Chris Lappakko. Um, so that's a thing. I mean, even besides the fact that why Chris called in, whether Tim Black disagreed with it or not, whether he liked that Chris was calling him out for that or not. Like, dude, you have a call-in show. You don't have a call-in show so people can call in and just fillet you. You have people call in because you uh you want people to discuss things, to share opinions, to share information. And you're not going to agree with all of that. I have to do this way because Tim Black blocked me on Twitter a long time ago. Like I think I maybe said two things to him, and he blocked me because I was following Chris, and I talk to Chris all the time, and because I follow Sam Cedar, because I follow Majority Report, because I don't know, I follow people who are actually responsible and actually do what they're fucking supposed to do when it comes to a show. Have some sort of fucking decorum in their show. As opposed to Tim, who just rambles about anything and everything that he thinks suits his needs at that time as being good until it's bad. But we ignore that because right now it's good. Project Veritas is good right now, according to Tim Black. Let's make a list of the shit that they've done. I mean, for starters, what Tim said, yes, they did. They did doctor a video where, the guy was, God, what the fuck's his name? Uh, God damn it, I can't remember his name, but the main guy, he was, let me sit down. I'm out of breath from walking up the stairs. It's early for me for a weekend. Anyways, so like the guy said, pretended like he dressed up in a pimp's outfit, walked through uh, the office lobby, was told to leave, and did, changed out of that, but didn't show that he wasn't in a pimp outfit, and then doctored the footage to the point where he was taken to court, rightfully so, and the judge actually fined him a hefty fine for distributing a video that was heavily doctored and didn't show what he claimed it proved it did. Basically, Trump's always talking about the libel laws. That was libel. That was libel. And they got caught in it, but it doesn't matter because they're backed up by Coke money. So, that's just, what they call the price of doing business. When organizations purposely break regulations because you know they know they can get away with it, they'll just pay the fine because what they earned is far more than what the fine will be. So it's always a net positive. So that's what Project Veritas does. Did that, got sued for it, lost, lost, but took down Acorn anyways. That's the good people that you're talking about, Tim. Oh, and they promoted that Planned Parenthood was selling baby parts. Now all of a sudden, my the extremely quiet Planned Parenthood that's by where I grew up and lived most of my life is getting protested ever since then, with people with signs saying, quit selling our babies parts and shit like that. All of it was untrue. All of it was untrue. Heavily fucking doctored. Heavily doctored. You know a thing that you don't know how to do, Tim? Edit videos. Like, I don't know, when you decide to give people's personal information, you know what? Tim Black followers, answer this question. Do you feel comfortable calling into that show and being associated with that show now? If you just so happen to fall on something that Tim disagrees with, and he decides that he's so aggrieved that he decides to give out your personal information, do you feel okay with that? Are you really okay with that? Ask yourself that. Are you okay with him giving out your numbers because he disagreed with you on something and decided to just give your fucking number out? Like, fuck you. I don't like you anymore. You're no longer in my crew. Here's your number. Here's your number on the fucking internet. And you're going to get death threats and people calling you at all hours of the night from all across the country. How cool would you feel about that, honestly? And back to Project Veritas. The other things that they did, I really wish I could remember his name. It's like Keith something. Fuck. It's probably better that I can't remember his name, honestly. But the other things on the list of wonderful things that fucking Project Veritas did with endless amounts of Coke-funded money, was a reporter wanted to interview him, the main guy, and he got her out there to his boat, drove her out to the ocean, and then tried to sexually assault her. And she was just like, he tried to like be verbally abusive and try to talk her into having sex with him and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, you realize I'm recording this, right? Like, you agreed to this being on the record, so I can use this in court now. Thank you for that. Now fucking drive me back to the shore, you fucking lecherous tool. And, you know, he started apologizing and drove her back, and she used it, of course, because why the fuck wouldn't you? The guy's a fucking asshole. He's the worst kind of people. These are the people that actually are the everyone says, that's why Trump won. It's people like that's the reason why Trump won. These bullshit peddlers. And Tim Black, you're one of them. You're one of them. You want to know why Trump won? Because of people like you. Because you can't recognize what voting is, because you can't recognize what a better situation is. You gotta fucking be like, well, I need to fucking shoot myself right in the head before I shoot myself in the foot. That's the better solution, because, as far as I see it, I still need to be able to walk. Yeah, that makes fucking sense, you fucking tool. Like, seriously, what the hell is wrong with you, man? Why do you even have a call-in show if you can't fucking handle a little heat? Why the fuck would you even do that? Why? Like, seriously, you're so worthless in this topic. Just stop taking calls. Show how weak you are. You can't handle taking calls. You don't fucking dox people. Your account should be taken down, and no one should take you seriously. But here we are. You made yourself have to be taken seriously. And I'm sure you're loving it right now until the fucking hammer falls. And then what, Tim? Then what? You gonna pull a Dave Rubin? Like, you know what? Maybe Bernie actually does suck. Maybe Project Veritas is 100% legit, and you know what? I'm gonna start interviewing Nazis. And I'll start being that sellout black guy who talks about how bad my own race is. Because you know what? That's where the money is. Like, fuck you, Tim Black. Fuck you. It's a terrible thing to do. If you can't handle the heat, don't fucking step in the fire, you useless prick. Oh, and by the way, my wife said you're ugly. She's black too, so, just throwing that out there. She thinks you're a huge piece of shit, too. It's a family affair in this motherfucker. Midwest fucking liberals telling you how it fucking is, Tim Black. That's how this works. So, that's all I got to say about that, Tim. Hopefully this video reaches you, because my tweets certainly won't. I can't, if I decide to call into your show, apparently you're gonna fucking dox me. So I can't do that. You just made yourself semi-untouchable. Except for the fact that you technically broke the goddamn law by giving out people's personal information on the internet. Yeah, you fucking tool. How's that? If Chris decided to be that petty, he could call the cops on you. He really could. I mean, especially after that shit with the swatting. It was a couple weeks ago. That kid died. You realize these are real things that happen. That have real world consequences. And that affect actual human beings. Like, I can't, like... You want to talk about talk shit about Sam Cedar? Sam Cedar's the least willing to take calls from people that he doesn't agree with. He'll talk to him. He won't tell him to stop calling. He didn't tell, like, he's got this huge right-wing troll that calls in all the time. He doesn't tell him to stop calling. In fact, he tells him to call in more. You want to know why? Because he knows how to make good on it. It's kind of funny. Hell, I started arguing with the guy on the internet. I found his Twitter because he makes himself known to be what he is and who he is on Twitter. So, that's fine. That's not doxing him. Fucking Sam didn't give out his Twitter. I found it. Because he found other people connected to the show. And I was like, oh, hey, this will be a laugh. Because he's terrible at this. It's fun. It is. It can be fun. If someone tells you you're full of shit, though, don't fucking get back at them if you have a call-in show. Fucking deal with it. Prove them wrong. Talk to them. You have a call-in show. I can't stress this enough. Or, how about this? I don't know. Stop taking fucking calls if you can't handle it. Stop debating because you can't fucking handle it. You're still aggrieved by what Sam told you because he was fucking right. That's why you're pissed off. That's why you can't handle our so-called same-seater fanboys. I don't blindly support Sam. If there's anything that I disagreed with him on, I would tell him. And there are times when I have. There are times when I brought up things that I didn't like that he said. I called in once and told him that I thought it was bullshit that Obama came here and drank the water. And, he said, yeah, the optics are bad. And I'm like, no, the optics are terrible. And, this is a blatant support of Rick Snyder. So, but I was willing to disagree with them. And he eventually was like, well, yeah. Came to my side on it. You can look the call up. Because guess what? He posted that call too. But here's what he didn't do. He didn't give out my fucking phone number. Jesus Christ, man. What the hell is wrong with you? Why have a show if you can't handle being told that you're wrong? See, I follow a lot of YouTubers on Twitter, and I follow a lot of videos on being on the internet, and I'm trying to do my thing, honestly. I've got stuff to do today, so I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get my next video. That's the sort of pirate version of this, where I'm just using my phone. But One of the first things that they always tell you is the haters are going to seem to far outweigh the people that like you. That doesn't mean ignore the haters. Sometimes the haters are telling you something that you need to fucking hear. They're telling you your audio is shit. Then guess what? Fucking work on your audio. I did. You know? I don't like your camera. Okay. Your stream's too glitchy. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll work on that. This is shit you do. You chose to be on the internet. You chose to make these videos. You chose to be this public person. It wasn't thrust upon you where you had to do certain things, where you had to take calls. You made up Freedom Fridays. So either stop doing it or learn to fucking grow some balls and deal. Learn how to handle it. Because you're going to be told some bullshit in your life. And you're just going to have to learn to fucking, dodge it. And dodging it, you don't have to punch everyone in the face in order to dodge it. You don't fucking give out their personal information in the hopes that someone else will do something. Why did people call your show? Why did so-and-so call your show? Because you have a call-in show. Because you allow it. Because that's what the format is set up. Just because the format, it doesn't work out in the way that you like, does not mean that you then have to say, well, why didn't you work in the way that I like? People are different. If someone wants to call in and tell you you're a huge giant sack of shit, they're going to do it. Because that's what you have, is a call-in show. Deal with it, Tim. And go fuck yourself.